Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Next Level Leadership, TC&A's weekly newsletter. We are happy to be with you this week and this month of June as we continue to support you. And our newsletter is designed to meet you in real time as you lead yourself and others through performance and expectations, challenges, and accountability. We're going to talk about some of those things today. And this season, we've been introducing our next level leadership tools, which are designed to support you in the moments when leadership becomes a choice about how you show up, what energy you bring, and how intentionally you want to lead yourself first. Leading yourself first is key, right, Tess?
It really is. And so often we expect others to be responsible for our actions and our mindsets and our behaviors, all of those things, when in reality, we are fully responsible for our mindset, our actions, our behaviors, things that are most important to us in our personal lives and professionally. And I look forward to today's conversation because when we are fully responsible, then we enjoy greater outcomes. And we are all about greater outcomes at TC&A.
Yes, absolutely. And that responsibility is something that's internal, that starts for each of us individually. So, responsibility is internal for yourself first. And today we're going to be talking about accountability and performance, and those are external pieces. So,
Yes.
before we can hold others accountable, accountability is an external act that we place on others or that others place on us. Performance, of course, is external as well. So before we can really hold people accountable and even expect them to raise their performance, that personal responsibility is really key. And personal responsibility leads to strong performances with cultures that create trust in their execution, that create confidence in decision making, consistency and follow through, clear communication, sustainable results, all of the things that everybody
Yes.
wants
Yes.
to experience in business and life. And we're going to just talk a little bit about some leadership strengths and gaps within accountability, within performance. So, Tess, do you want to lead us off here with talking about, one of these leadership strengths?
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to reiterate with the responsibility. I remember in my own life, I was so taught as a young child to be a follower. And I'm not sure that that really taught me full responsibility. Now, yes, I was taught I need to obey, I need to have integrity, I need to have all of those things. Yet there was um, flip, a switch that got flipped. It's hard to say. Um, and when that transpired, I was the leader of myself first. It wasn't that I didn't follow, it was that I took full responsibility for the outcomes in my life that I really wanted. Now, I'm a firstborn daughter, so I've always been responsible and on many layers and levels. But this mindset of I'm the leader of myself first really has helped me discern what am I going to follow, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's also helped the accountability piece. I can be held accountable and get the outcomes because I've been fully responsible. And we've just seen that in business over and over. And it's something that we coach people every single day. Use the strengths of your responsibility that requires consistency in your performance. If you're not consistent, then it's going to become a gap. There's going to be a lot of inconsistency. Now we know external things transpire and there needs to be agility and adjustments and all of those things. Yet, the more you can stay consistent with your approach, your mindset, your integrity, the way that you get things done, the way that you also communicate and support others, all of that consistency adds up and adds greater value towards results that you want to experience. The other piece of, high performance, they follow through.
Hmm.
And how many times, Chelsea, have we experienced where someone says, oh, they really want to improve something, but they lack consistency and there's no follow through, but they're wanting a different outcome, or they
Yeah.
don't want to be held accountable for something that they are responsible for, but because they didn't follow through and they weren't consistent, they didn't get the outcome that they wanted. And so those two simple things, if we did those every single day, they make such a huge difference in our lives. And it makes a huge difference in the relationships that we are engaged in every single day as well. If I do what I say I'm going to do and I'm consistent and I follow through, then I build trust.
Yeah.
And that strength of leadership of building trust is so key. And we can build that individually, we can build that with our teams, and we can get ourselves and our teams to a place where, yes, hold me accountable because I know I've been consistent. I know I have followed through. I know I've been integrous. I know I've done what I said I would do. And there's times you and I have talked about this. I told the person that I was going to get something to them today. I'm running out of time. Do I wait till tomorrow? We've had these conversations, and oftentimes, most often, we will say, we said we would get it to them today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get it to them to the best of our ability. And we may follow up and say, okay, here's the first portion. I'll follow up with you tomorrow on the second half. And that ultimately builds trust in who we are as leadership coaches and the business that we run. What are your thoughts here as you're thinking of these strengths in leadership, and we're always coaching people that are wanting to do better and be better, and what are some words that will support that from you?
Well, certainly consistency and follow through are absolutely key in order to hold people accountable and
Mhm.
to increase the performance.
Yeah.
What we often find is that people will avoid harder conversations consistently.
Don't
And
get
so
us
that is an
started on
act of,
avoiding.
yeah, as long as we're not consistently avoiding.
Yeah.
But avoiding hard conversations ultimately lowers the team trust.
Mhm.
And we see that happen time and again. So if you're consistently addressing the hard conversations,
Mhm.
things actually do get easier.
Yeah,
And if you decrease the gap time between when something happens and when you're addressing it, the conversation is actually doesn't need to be as hard. The conversation gets harder the longer that you avoid it.
absolutely. And then oftentimes when we have avoided it or the conversation, we have some deeper emotions about it, and it may come across as more of a blame rather than let's course correct here and
Yeah.
let's get back on track together here so
Yeah.
that we can experience a better outcome. And we have clients that are consistently doing that. They don't go into blame mode when they're holding people accountable. They go into this mode of conversation. I see something maybe inconsistent here, or I see that there was no follow through here. So now we're managing a more complex situation. Do you need help? Do you
Yeah.
need further support? And those kind of conversations end up being a growth opportunity for both the manager, the leader, and the employee because it hasn't been avoided. It's been handled correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. And the accountability is so key because for leaders to model the accountability.
Yes, yes.
So they're modeling taking responsibility personally, and then they're
Mhm.
modeling holding others accountable. And we know what happens often with our clients because everybody is very busy and has full
Mhm.
schedules that sometimes accountability and the follow through and the consistency kind of falls off track because it's like, oh, I know this person knows how to do the work. They should know how to do it, or I've showed them before, or they've been here long enough. We've heard some of those things,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And
Yes,
and yet when we go back to the basics and really the next level leadership tools really are about the basics.
yes.
It is quite expansive, but it is about the basics. If we want to collaborate better, like we were talking about last month, well, we
Mhm,
need to have better communication. If we
mhm,
want more alignment, we need to have clarity first. And all of
mhm,
those things matter to hold people accountable and
mhm,
to take their performance to the next level. We hear all of the time that leaders want to raise the people underneath them to the next level
mhm,
of performance, and they want people to be high performers, or they're already high performers and we want them to, even take it up a notch.
mhm.
It's all possible.
Yeah,
Everything's possible. We are here to
yeah,
magnify your potential
yeah.
after all. But
Yes.
we have to be able to do the basics, which is to hold people accountable. So if you are looking to raise the performance level of your team and of yourself, accountability has to live before the performance is raised. If you are not holding people accountable and you are not taking personal responsibility, you will not have the sustainable results of their performance. You might have some spikes of, good moments here and there, but without accountability, the performance is not going to be sustainable that you're looking for.
And what you're really talking about foundationally, you- I go back remembering when you were a child and a gymnast and went through the full years of gymnastics into college. You were able to go to the next steps because you learned the foundational components of what you needed to do in order to do the what started out as a cartwheel or a backflip and then ended up on the with the bars and the vault and all of the things, the floor routines, everything that you learned. You foundationally you had to keep going back to the foundation, right?
Yeah. And
And
the
that's
coach is holding me accountable for, in
exactly.
order for you to progress to this level, well, you have to, hold your body, your mind, your everything accountable for these things first. And a lot
Exactly.
of this often happens for us in childhood first,
Mhm.
right?
Yes,
Your own
yes,
version of
yes,
the gymnastics piece.
yes. And mine was all music where I had to learn the chord structures. I had to learn all of the musicality and the technical aspects of music in order to perform. I had to learn all of those things first and how to even manage my vocal cords and take care of my vocal cords. So it's all of those things that require business to have
Hmm.
the same kind of behaviors, right?
Yes.
And I think what's interesting about that is because the love of the sport of gymnastics, the love of the music that I had, when we love something, we want to be the best at it. And then I question if we really love the work we do, wouldn't we want to be the best at it?
Yeah.
And so, if we really love the work that we do, then foundationally, we're going to work on the responsibility, accountability. We're going to even go beyond and work on the social, or I should say, the skills of self-knowledge, self-management, social knowledge, social management, so we can continue to expand who we are and how we do things in our professional and personal lives. It makes a difference. Foundationally, it makes a difference. And so if you're listening today and the only thing you do is be personally responsible to be consistent, that's going to help you in the bigger picture. And when someone holds you accountable for that, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're already doing it,
Yeah.
right?
And that's the great thing about being held accountable. When you are personally responsible, you don't mind being held accountable. So
Exactly.
just be mindful if you are
Exactly.
getting triggered or feeling a
Mhm.
certain way about somebody
Yes.
holding you accountable, there is an area that you're not taking personal responsibility for.
Yes. Well said. It is true. And that's for all of us. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
again, we're in the deep end every single day with our clients and we're practicing everything that we're coaching. We have challenges as well. And yet we go back to the foundation. Really every single day we're going back to the foundation.
Yeah.
And the
Foundation.
foundation builds out great opportunity.
Yeah. Leading yourself first,
Yeah.
having a growth mindset, delegating, not holding on to everything, and
Yes.
ultimately assessing the situation
Mhm.
for what type of leader you need to show up as. What is
Yeah.
this situation? What is this conversation? What is this challenge need? What is it calling from for me as far as, what kind of leader do I need to be? Do I need to be more of a coach? Do I need to be more of a delegator and use the
Mhm.
telling style? Do we need to collaborate, participate together? There's options. And
Yes.
the next level leadership tools give you options in how you lead yourself and your team as
Yes.
you go through clarity and alignment, communication and collaboration, accountability and performance. And we have energy awareness and stress management coming to you next
Mhm.
month. So stay
Yes.
tuned for that. But appreciate the conversation today, Tess. And
Me too.
um, I know that we are two people that are every day taking personal responsibility and
Mhm.
we are leading ourselves first and we are doing what we say we will do. And we are modeling that because it feels good for us and because this is how we are being of service to humanity as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
everything first comes from our own authentic, genuine foundation that has been built. And we trust that the listeners are feeling that as well.
Yes. Yes, we do. Thank you.
Well, happy June, everyone. You can sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already. I'll put the link in the comment section, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
Yes, we do.